So even for the people who are not self-starters and they did experience that step by step by step training that you went through with your new with your enroller, you're still viewing it from the point of view of the distributor being trained. And so when you're the one doing the training, it's a completely different thing. But it's so funny that looking at all you guys is like the same. Every single one of you just like figured it out and did it. Like you had your trainer there that was probably pouring into you and giving you steps. But it's so funny that a group here is all self-starters. All right. So Miranda was like, I was like, okay, tell me exactly what you want to make sure that we go over. And she was kind of like, she was like, well, just like the steps of, okay, what do you do first? What do you do second? What do you send them? When do you send it to them? How do you know they're ready for the next step? But I have a little bit of a pep talk I want to give all you guys first before we get into that. And I know Danny had a question too. She said, are you going to be going over like what if someone is not necessarily a brand new distributor, but they really haven't gotten rolling yet? How do you kind of like relaunch or get them excited again about getting started back up? So we'll go over that too. And we'll go over like, okay, step by step in boards. How do you use boards and what do you add to boards, like as far as voice messages and stuff like that? But if there's anything on your mind right now that you're like, I want to make sure we go over this as far as training new distributors, please type it in the chat. And just to make sure that when we get to the end of it, we don't skip over anything. So we had a Diamond and Above Zoom with Mike Patilla this week. If you guys don't know who he is the Chief Sales Officer with corporate, I think is his title. And he's amazing. He's been with the company since pretty much the very beginning. And he's been in network marketing since he was 18 years old. And he's like my age now. So one of the things that he told us was perfect for what we're talking about today. He said 80% of your team growth will come from 20% of your team, and 20% of your team growth will come from the other 80%. So wrap your mind around that for a second and own that fact, because when you do, I think that you stop blaming yourself for your new distributors quitting or sucking or, doing good for a little bit and then stopping. Let's say that again. 20% of your team growth, wait, let me say it. 80% of your team growth is going to come from 20% of your team. And the other 20% of your growth is going to come from the other 80% of your team. And that's so true. That's so true. So you're going to love on everybody. You're going to love on that 80% that's only giving you 20% growth. But it only makes sense to spend most of your time with the people who want your help the most, right? The people who are actually going to dig in and do the dang thing. So I want you guys, it's so common that I see people who they enroll and they're bringing in new distributors and they get so discouraged and start blaming themselves because their team members are not doing anything. And 80% of the world that enrolls with you, that's what's going to happen. Now, there are things that we can do to encourage, to kind of like encourage those people and motivate those people and things like that. But sometimes it's all in between their own two ears and you can't get in there. Like they got to figure that out on their own. So you're going to love on everybody and you cannot make people work. You cannot make them work. So what is our role as their enroller? What is our role as their trainer? What can you do to help the process along? So the best thing that you can do is lead by example. So the only thing that they can see that you're doing is your posts. That's the only thing they can see. So it's very important that you post how you want your new distributors to post. It's very important that you post about using products so that they see how important it is for you to be using products. So those posts are great for attracting new customers, but they're also essential to show your team that you believe in the products as well. Okay, so they serve several different purposes. So The other ways, though, that you can lead by example when they can't see the action that you're taking is participating in the chat. And you know, commenting on things in the group. So we started that heart, money bag, diamond thing, not just so we could pat ourselves on the back. We started that so that we can emphasize the most important actions. So a brand new distributor coming in is like, well, it must be important to get hosts to post up every day because everybody's sending these dang green hearts. Okay, let me do that so I can send a green heart. Or, okay, I see this girl, she's enrolling a lot of distributors. She's sending a lot of diamonds in the chart and they're translating into enrollment. So let me do that too. Okay, so she sent a money bag. I thought business was slow right now, but here comes all those money bags. I can do this too. So that is a great way for you to be an example for the people that you bring on, is to participate in the chat in those little ways, and to just participate, like ask questions and stuff so that they see that it's not just 3 or 4 people that are communicating in that chat, so that they will be encouraged to communicate in there too. Be on Zooms, take pictures on Zoom. So you want to be on Zooms to learn, but you want to show your new team members how important it is to be on Zoom. So show up to go up, and you got to stress that to your new people as well. So, and then just commenting in groups and stuff. So be that example that you want them to be. There is almost never a time that I can think of that you're going to see where you have a distributor with several distributors under them, where the distributors under them are working harder than they are. They're going to rise up to the level that you show them that they need to do. Very rarely are they going to go beyond that. It happens, but you have to be a little bit more than you expect them to be for them to rise up to the level you want them to be. So you got to like shout it out, be proud. Y'all take a picture right now. Let's do it. Hold on. We're going to put this in our stories. I'm going to do the video now, and then I'll just post it later. So serving lots of purposes. That is showing your audience that we are a community of people that are helping each other, but it's also showing your new distributors that they need to show up on these things. Okay. So think about that, and think about, like, when you're posting and all, that you're not just speaking to your potentials. All right. So let's see, staying connected. That's my next topic. But do you guys have any questions about that, about what we've talked about so far, about how to be the best example, or maybe an example of how that's worked well in your business? Anything? Okay, so staying connected. It's hard to stay connected to someone that you feel like doesn't really care if you stay connected to them or not, right? Yeah. Raise your hand if you've ever felt that way with a new distributor. Like, I don't even feel like they want my messages anymore. Like, I feel like I'm bugging the crap out of them. But at one point, so there's like this dating period with your potentials. We all know that, right? We're trying to show them the best, our best self. We're trying to, make sure that we stay connected with them so that they will want to join our team. Once they join our team, there's this whole other dating period to get them excited to be here. Because once they join, it's like, oh gosh, what did I just do? So the excitement that was building up to them joining your team, now all of a sudden turns into a different feeling that a lot of times can feel negative to them. So because then the excitement makes them join, but then they're like, oh crap. So we've got to onboard them, is one of the terms. I hate that term, but it's one of the terms that they use in network marketing, where they were excited to join. And now that they've joined, you have to help them keep that excitement towards actually working their business. I would say 50% of the time when I enroll someone, they never do anything. And it's because that excitement turned into a negative feeling of, oh crap, what did I just do? So people stay in this business, continue working this business for one of 3 reasons. It's great if they can have all 3 of these reasons, but usually they're just going to have one at first. But as their enroller, one of the things that you can do is you cannot make them work, but you can help them keep that excitement so that one of these three things happens. They stick around and work this business because a love of the product. And usually, most of the time when people join, well, not most of the time, but a lot of the time when people join, they've never even tried a product. So if they've never even tried a product, it can't be that. But get them to send those samples to themselves ASAP so they can at least feel the energy that they get from that skinny brew, so that they have something to speak as, something to get excited about, something they want to shout loud and proud about. So a love of the products, their own success story, that's going to keep them around, keep them working this business. Talk about the products you're using and your excitement over that. So they're going to want to try it as well. When they try it, they're going to fall in love with it, and they're going to have a reason and excitement to want to stick around. So another thing that you can do is really pump up that $150 shopping spree and get them earning that ASAP so that they can cash that in, so that that excitement doesn't have a chance to be an, oh crap, what did I just do? That excitement of them joining now is an excitement because they've tried these amazing products that they're falling in love with and wanting to try more and more and more and shout from the rooftops what they found. So number one, love of the products is going to make them stick around. Another reason that you stick around and you keep working this business is the money, right? Most people, when they first come into this business, that's probably 95% of the reason that in the beginning you can help them run with that excitement from day one. So they stick around because they're already making money, or they see the vision, they see the potential of what this business can do for them. So how do you download that to their brain? You've got to make them confident in the process. You've got to help them to understand how simple this truly is. And through the training and through the boards and sending them step by step, they're going to learn that. So we're going to go over that. You've got to share with them other people's successes. So I was talking with somebody today, and she was saying something about a new distributor's daughter had all this medical debt. And she said, I immediately thought of Amy Spence, and I wanted her to hear Amy Spence's story. So when you hear, because Amy Spence started this because of her daughter's medical debt. So when you learn all the leaders' different personal background stories, like if you have a single mom or a mom of twins or someone who used to be a dental hygienist, y'all point them to me because we will connect. If you have, I don't know who, you got to know other leaders' stories so that you can help them connect and feel like she did it. Well, I can do it too. You know what I mean? So, Crohn's, I talk about Danny all the time for people who've had Crohn's. I mean, the fact that Danny has Crohn's, does have Crohn's, has battled with Crohn's, doesn't make her good or bad at this business. But when you can see yourself in someone else's story who's successful in this business, it just helps you connect. Okay, so excitement over the product or excitement over the money is going to keep people excited and sticking around to work this business. And then the third thing that people stick around for is a connection with the team. I was not, I really, until probably a year, maybe 2 years ago, did not realize how important this was, because as an introvert, as someone who would rather just stay in my house all day and have my groceries delivered and somebody else make a Hobby Lobby run so I can do crafts at home, like that would be a ideal life for me. I don't want to leave my house. I love you guys so much and y'all have added so much to my life, but I didn't know I needed these friendships. I didn't know my soul was craving that. So for me, I did not realize how important that connection is. But when you can help your new distributor feel an important part of this team, connected and valued on this team, sometimes that's all they need to stick around and continue to work this business and start to see success. Raise your hand if you're like me and that was not really an important thing when you joined. Not an important thing at all for me. I did not need that to stick around. So just know though that, see, like only 2 of us are really raising our hand. Well, Heather's raising her hand too. So if y'all feeling that way, just know that most people, that is important to feel a part of it. I just needed the money. I was like, give me the money. I don't care who I'm friends with. just give me the money. But now I see what value it has added. So how do you help them feel connected? The tribe chat is a great place for them to feel connected, but I don't add everybody. I feel like the beeps and constant dings can be very overwhelming to somebody who's not in it to win it yet. But Diane Walker, who is almost enrolled, told me in the beginning that she would not have stuck around had it not been for the tribe chat. And she's amazing. So when I add somebody, I always, I send them a genuine invite and I say, I think you're ready for this. I would love to have you as a part of this little community that we have. We chit chat all day long. You're going to get a lot of dings. So mute the conversation if you need to, but here's why I think you might love it, and invite them to the chat. But they have to show me that they're willing to do a little bit of work before I'll even add them to the chat. So then also, like, once you add them to the chat, of course, say, let everybody welcome them or whatever. And then your simple act of you being active in that chat daily is going to encourage them to be active in the chat too. So we're working real hard to make sure that that's a warm, welcoming environment for new people, and that like discouragement and the hard stuff that we have those conversations like behind the scenes one-on-one. But that is like that chat serves so many purposes. But one of the main purposes is to make the new people feel loved on. Also, like when, like, let's just say Danny's on the East Coast, and so she's asleep a lot of times when I'm just wrapping up West Coast. I know I just can't know my West. She's above California, Washington. But anyway, she's asleep a lot of times when I'm wrapping up my work time for the day, because there are different time zones. So when Danny adds her new people, it's great because her new people that are over here on this coast can ask their questions when Danny's not available. So that's another great reason for that. But those are the three things that you have to help your new distributor love: the products, the business, the possibility of making money, the dream, all of that, and then the connection with the team. Okay, so a couple of little random thoughts that I wrote down before we go into like the steps in the boards is I want my new distributors to always be shooting for that next goal. So of course we know that the first goal is for them to get their first 6 customers in their first 30 days. But I kind of also want them to understand, like, what is that first promotion going to look like? Because it's so close, but so as soon as they get close to their 6 or right after they get it, then I'll start talking to them about, here's what your first promotion is going to look like. I'll send them the video of promoting to executive and all that stuff. So I want them to really own the fact of, like, here's what I'm shooting for. I need 2 distributors. I need both of those distributors at 400 to go executive. And then maybe they don't know what Ruby looks like, but then they're like, then they know that there's going to be another goal after that. And then there's going to be another goal after that. And there's going to be another goal after that. So, let me back up. So the 3 things that are going to make them stick around, and the excitement over the business or the excitement over making money, if you can help them sell some samples right out the gate, they've got a little taste of that. They don't have to wait till payday. So let them use some samples, but also help them sell some samples, right? And that is going to be really great. And then, of course, when they enroll their own first distributor, they might not have to wait till payday if they get their own fast start bonus. But a lot of times, if they haven't gotten their first 6 customers yet, they're not going to be able to get the first distributor quite yet. That'll come later on. Okay, so another little random thought that I wrote down of keeping your distributors excited. All of you guys on here are great at enrolling customers. So a lot of times you're going to have a customer to enroll from that new distributor's website before they ever even get their first customer. So really make them feel privileged that you're doing that, to where they don't expect that. Just usually the way that looks for me is, Like I'll just like go ahead and enroll it from their site, not even tell them. And I'll message them and say, I got some good news to share with you. And I wait. Like I want to have a conversation with them, like same thing that I do with my potential customers. Like I'm not just going to rattle everything off, because I want to be building that relationship with that person, because most of the people I enroll, I don't know. So any chance to have a conversation with them is good. So I wait and I'll let them say, what is it? And I'll like to send voice messages when I can, if I'm not, in the middle of somewhere where I'm supposed to be quiet, because that just helps them connect with you a little bit better. And I'll just say, so you got your first customer, and that counts towards your first 6 customers that you can get to earn your $150 shopping spree in your first 30 days. And I know the answer to this question that I'm about to ask, but I want to teach them to become self-reliant and not count on me for everything. So I know every day that all my new distributors 30 days ends. I know when y'all's new distributors 30 days ends. I don't have to ask that question, but I want them to learn to be self-reliant. So I'll say, so I got great news. And then when they say what, I'll say, you just got your first customer. It counts towards your 6 in your first 30 days where you can earn your $150 shopping spree. When is your 30 days over? 99.9% of the time, they don't know. So we've already told them this. We've already told them they can earn the shopping spree in their first 30 days, but they're learning so much. And this is an important date that they need drilled in their head, and they need to continue to every single day be counting that down in their own head, and us not having to tell them. So they need to wake up on Tuesday and say, I got 19 days left. They need to wake up on Wednesday and say, okay, I'm down to 18 days, without us reminding them. So when you have those conversations with them, and you can ask them those questions where you can teach them to, like, they're probably gonna say, I don't know. And you're gonna say, okay, when did you enroll? I know when they enrolled. I have it written down on the thing right in front of me. And they're gonna say, I don't remember. And that's gonna give you the opportunity to teach them how to navigate in eSuites. So you're gonna say, okay, go to eSuites, click on reports, click on Organizational Explorer, and send me a screenshot. Let's look at that together. So it's giving you the opportunity to teach them how to navigate through that. That's a big, big tip right there. Like, I know that so often I hear, and me too, I feel frustration sometimes when new distributors want to ask me questions that they know they can look it up. They know that I've got 20 other people that I'm talking to at that very moment, but they want me to take time to tell them how much cleanse costs. Like, what I do in that situation is I just say, let me show you where to look. And it takes me a whole lot more time to do a screen recording of myself showing them how to go to eSuites and where to look at the price. But if they know that they can't come to me to ask a price, they're going to stop asking me, which saves me time in the future. So sometimes we get frustrated over them asking us stupid questions, but we're breeding that. So we have to teach them how we want to be treated. So does that make sense so far? Okay. So teach a man to fish. Absolutely. Tell everyone about my, I know. Sheila, she said, tell everybody about her missed shopping spree. She enrolled her 6th customer yesterday on her 30th day, but didn't realize that one of them had a shared address, so she didn't get it. But she has a new distributor that she's working for the $150 bonus on, so at least she's got that extra goal to work for. Okay, if y'all have any questions, y'all can unmute or type it in the chat. So what I thought I would do now is just share my screen in boards and kind of go through the step by step. Is that going to be kind of what you really wanted, Miranda? You're unmuted.
Oh, I'm unmuted? I was
Yeah.
sitting here typing it in. So yes, like, cause I know Miss Danny sent out that I didn't print it off yet. But like I guess, not loyal customer, distributor tracker.
Isn't that awesome?
Yes, and I plan on, I have it written down to print out, but underneath it said step 1, step 2, wait till this, then step 3. Like, is that it under the new distributor training in boards? Is that where she got those numbers from, or?
Yeah. So, Danny, where did you put that? Is it, I know you sent it in Tribe, but I haven't printed it off yet either, because I want to look at it as I'm talking.
The PDF is actually in boards.
Okay.
I added it.
Thank
Let me
you.
grab it.
I wasn't sure if I could add a PDF, but I figured it out.
So I'm in Team Boards.
Yeah, go to new distributor.
I got it right here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna just screenshot that so I have that, and I'll show you guys what she's talking about. So let me share my screen. Okay, so Miranda, you kind of want to know when someone's new, what do you send them first? Okay, now marking this off on the tracker. Okay, now what's next? That's kind of what you were looking for, right? Okay.
Right, because I'm very type A. I need like a, and if I don't have that, I've noticed, like, I feel like with my cousin Wendy, I just regurgitated everything onto her, and I don't know what she got and what she didn't. And
yeah, I gotcha. And when you're training even just 2 new distributors at a time, even if it's like, okay, this is my cousin Wendy, and I don't know this one, so I'll keep it straight. You won't, like, if you're like working, you know, it helps to have that tracker. And one of the things Raelle and I were just talking about this morning is when I first started training distributors 6 years ago, I was like, okay, here's all the things, go. And then I realized not everybody is like the 8 of us who are on here. Not everybody. I told Raelle I could have written a 100-page book and handed it to her and said, here you go. And she would have done it and done it well and done it better than I did. And that's the way I feel like all of you guys on here would have done. But then I realized, oh, that doesn't work for most people. So then I started treating people like idiots. And I was like, okay, here's step 1. Send this sentence. Tell me when you've done that. Okay, now send this sentence and make this post. Tell me when you've done that. And like I was treating everybody like little babies. Well, people don't like that either. So it was like, and it was also like slowing the process tremendously because they might not be available and then I might not be available. And so it really is a delicate balance of finding the in between of holding their hand and walking them through step by step, but also giving them that independence, and then not just giving them too much at one time. But every single person you enroll is going to be different and want you to handle them differently. But you're also at the same time training them that it is a process. Everyone is individual, but we do have a proven system. And if you don't use that proven system, I don't know how to help you because I use the system. Like, and everybody who's at the top uses the system too. So it's like helping them understand that they are an individual and we don't want them to be a cookie cutter, but you need to work within these boundaries. You know what I mean? So it is a delicate balance, but always remember that statistic I gave you in the beginning. And so that when you remember that, you're not going to blame yourself when people just suck. So sometimes you just can't do anything with that. All right, so let me share my screen. iPhone, share.
While you're doing that, what did you mean by helping them self-samples? Like, how do you do that?
So I don't really have a great process for that, but I just know when people, like for me, when I started, and I tell you guys I made $1,000 in my first month, that was not from commissions. That was not from fast start bonuses. That was from selling wraps. That was from selling like how we sell coffee samples now. And that hooked me. Like I was like, heck yeah. You know, I didn't even know about the loyal customer program yet. I'd not even made my first fast start bonus, but I made a lot of money in my very first month. And I just know that when you can show them, here, look, I told you I was going to help you make money, and here's your first little bit, then they start to trust you. And when they have to wait a whole month for their first commission to even hit, it's great if you can help them sell samples. So the way I sell samples is I post about coffee, and then I'll make a sample sales post. So I don't post about, I know the KPI sheet says to post about selling samples daily, but I think that when you do that, you get so much less engagement on those posts than if you post about it once or twice a month. So I think it's important for you to post and get some interest, talk about the loyal customer program with some potentials before you actually make that sample post. So like, this is not anywhere in the training, but somewhere about like if they're doing everything they should do day by day by day, about a week in, if they've posted, about the coffee and have some samples, then you can have them post about the coffee. We've got some great posts. So if you don't have those, let me know and I'll make sure you have those in your hands that are kind of proven to work. Or people who've been interested in the coffee but didn't want to do the loyal customer program, after they make that post, they can directly message them and say, hey, did you see my post? I've got 7 sample packs that I'm sending out tomorrow and wanted to make sure I offered it to you because you'd been interested before. So I know you've sold samples, so you know kind of how it works. You just kind of walk them through that.
I just didn't know how to sell their samples for them.
Yeah. No, I'm not selling for them, but yeah. All right. So Danny made us this amazing sheet right here. So yeah. So we're just going to look like when you enroll distributor number 1, and we've got step 1, you would highlight that. Step 2, highlight that. Step 3, highlight 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we talked about that, and she was like, I really think that we don't have, because on the old sheet, it was like, told you what step 1 was. But as you guys know, things are ever changing. And so if we change what step 1 is, this sheet still works because all it says is step 1, step 2, step 3. So you can highlight as you go and make sure that you're on track and you know exactly where they are. So, so you're going to put the date they enrolled. She's got country on there because she enrolls a lot from Canada and the US. New team member and their ID right there on the first, that next blank. DT moved under. So where did you place them? That's important to know. And then she's got loyal customers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's important for them and you, because when they get their first 6 customers in their first 30 days, they get $150 shopping spree. You get 3 $50 bonuses. PBV, that's important because if they get all the way to 6 loyal customers and they don't have 150 in personal bonus volume and they don't have an 80 BV auto shipment set up, nobody gets anything. You don't get a bonus, or they would still get their shopping spree, but you don't get your bonus. So that's why right there she's got PBV. So you would write down as their personal bonus volume updates each time and erase it and add. So don't do this in pen. And make sure that they get to 150. So let's say they have loyal customer 1, 2, 3, 4, but they're still not at 150. You're not going to get paid out on those bonuses until they get to 150, and it has to be in their first 30 days. So she's got shopping spree where you check off if they've earned their shopping spree, and then 30 days where you would write the date of when their 30 days ends. I love this. Thank you, Danny. So what are the steps? So I'm going to use you, okay? So if Miranda is my new distributor, I'm going to go to my boards. And if you guys don't have, y'all all have boards, never mind. I know, I forgot who I was talking to. New distributor training right here. So first thing you're going to do when you first enroll a distributor is you are going to, if you're the one who enrolls them, oh, you know what else, Danny, we might need to talk about on that sheet, and I don't think there's room for it, but what I do on my current sheet is underneath where I write their name and ID, I'll write their website. I don't think there's room for a blank there at all, but you're going to need to know their website when you're enrolling your loyal customers from their website. But I don't have a blank on it on my current sheet either. I'll just write it underneath there. Okay, so as soon as they enroll it.
I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, what is that?
Now this is, so it's kind of the same. Before I knew Miss Danny had it, and mine has a spot for their websites.
Great.
But I just need, so I guess I need to edit it and add the steps.
Okay. Can y'all still see my screen? Because it just moved off of my screen. I can't see it anymore. My phone. Okay, here it is. Never mind. So if I'm the one who enrolls them, that video of Mark pops up. And my kids can probably recite that video word for word because they've heard it so many times. Because when I enroll somebody, I don't want them missing anything. So I'm like, here's a video of our CEO. It's real quick. I want you to see it. So I'll record it, and it has their name on the top of the screen, and I'll send that to them. That's the very first thing I send them. I say, welcome to the team. And then right underneath there, it has all their information. It has their ID number. It has their website listed out. It has, oh, somebody wrote something in the chat. I thought it was somebody in the waiting room. Oh, don't worry about that blank, but if you do, that's fine. It has everything. So I sent them a picture of that. If they enroll themselves, I make sure that as part of the steps that I send them in enrolling themselves says, there is a video at the very end. Make sure that you take a picture of the information that pops up underneath there. It'll have your website and stuff like that. So that's the very first thing. And then after that, Danny has this so beautifully lined out for us right here in boards. So step number 1 says, here is the login information for your back office. And you're going to add in their ID number and password if you're the one who set that up. Can y'all? It's not scrolling. Is it scrolling for you guys?
It was.
Okay. We got
Wait.
Add yourself to these 3 Facebook pages. It's got the links to the pages. Let me know. I need to fix that. I think that I did that when you finish that for your next step. So this is one of the things that in the beginning I would have just said, here's all the things, do them, ready to go. But I'm guiding them. I'm letting them know, do this and let me know when you're done. So I'll send you the next thing. So you send them that. That's real quick. Okay, what happens if you haven't heard from them and it's tomorrow or it's tonight and you haven't heard from them? So remember, we've got that dating period to bring them on the team, but then we've got that dating period to help them fall in love with the team. They haven't fallen in love with it yet. It's day 1. They're scared to death. So if they haven't messaged you back and it's tonight, then you just say, hey girl, did you get that message? Or same thing you would do if they were a potential. Or you would say, hey, did you get yourself added to those groups or whatever? I got your next step waiting for you. So you're kind of creating some urgency, but also like letting them run the show a little bit. All right. So step 2, these are the apps you will be using. Go to your app store and download them. And then I don't know if I sent this to you, Danny, but I actually put a picture in there to show them what they look like. I just added that to my thing real quick. I don't know if that's even really helpful. So then that would be your step 2. So now you're gonna highlight step 2, and then she's got right there, send them team board. So everybody knows how to do that, right? How do you like send someone a board? Tell me if you don't.
No. I usually send an email to Miss Danny and say, hey, can you add this for me?
Okay, well let me show you because it's super easy.
Okay.
And what was I gonna say? Oh, and just let them know, like, this is something we will be using later, but I'm going to go ahead and send this to you now because, like, I don't really start explaining to them how to use it right away. So when you're in boards, so that's what yours looks like in the beginning, except for I may have a whole bunch of more different stuff in there. I need to delete some stuff that I don't use. So the second one, team board, this is tap the 3 dots. You're gonna pull that up and then you're gonna tap the 3 dots at the top. I don't know if mine looks like it has something over the top of it, but the 3 dots right there, you click share, or no, wait, yeah, share board. And then you can, you can email it to them right there. That's all you gotta do. Just put their email in and just let them know that.
You can also do the person, Jenny. The 3 dots is when you're copying the keys over to your own board. So the little person with the plus sign, you can click on that and share the board as well. The 3 dots is once you have your board and then you select all the folders and put them in your board.
I've never done it that way. I always click the 3 dots and do share board. but it takes you the same
Yeah,
place.
they just came up with that share invite link. That's new as well.
Yeah, I thought so.
So you can just send them the link. And
So that's all you do. You just go in there. Not the one
Mhm.
that you use it from, you know how you had to copy and paste. You go to the one that says team board and share that one. Because that's where all the updates will show up as Danny updates them and everything.
So should I be going back in periodically and re-downloading it, like re-copying it over if
No,
she
not
updates them or anything?
No, because sometimes you're going to change things that you just want different in yours.
Okay.
And but when Danny updates something, we'll always say in Tribe or whatever, look for this update, and if you like it, if you think it's useful, then you can just copy that part over into your board or whatever. Because if you like redo it all over, like it's going to take away everything you've changed, so you don't want to do that. Okay, so then now with each one of these, let me back up. I don't want, somebody was on like a top 10 distributors team, and she obviously knows what she's doing because she's top 10, but that distributor like years later joined our team, and she showed me what her training was like over there. It was so impersonal, and it was just like step one, and then the girl would message her enroller and say, okay, I'm finished with that step, and then she would just send her a copy and paste step two, and that's all it was. It was just like her sending her pages of a book. Nothing, like she did not get to know her distributors at all. She couldn't because she enrolls like 100 a month, but none of us are enrolling 100 a month, so we have time to be personal and build those relationships that are going to help people stick around. When you're enrolling 100 distributors a month, you're going to enroll at least 10 rock stars a month, right? So you don't have to build that personal part. But when you build your business like that, it doesn't feel good. So, I mean, it doesn't to me anyways. Like you want to get to know your people. So new distributor training. So when I send them a step, I'm always sending voice messages to help with that connection part, to get to know them so that they don't feel like I'm just a computer or a robot or whatever. So I probably like that first step, I'm like, welcome to the team, I'm so excited, I'm going to go ahead and send you your first step, just something like that. No, you don't have to overthink it. So the way I kind of think of it is the boards, the steps in boards is the hard part that you don't have to think about, where it's just like step one, step two, step three, so that you don't forget anything. And then in between, you're sending voice messages to pump them up, so you don't have to worry about like training or anything in those voice messages. So then on number two, where we're sending them the apps to get, my voice message might just say, one of the things I love so much about this business is how simplified it is. Our systems are amazing, and these 3 apps are a big part of it. Let me know when you get those downloaded. And so for me, I am from day one building in the idea of there's a system you need to follow, right? So I'm really preaching the systems as we go so that their confidence in the systems is building, even though they haven't used them yet. And they're starting to realize the importance of not being a live wire and just making crazy posts up on your own. All right. So step 3 is send the samples to yourself. So that little video too, you can send them to show them how to do it. And then I would probably send them a voice message, just kind of reiterating like, as a new distributor, we think it is so important that you get to taste and feel what the products can do for you. So you have 7 3-day sample packs waiting for you. You just need to tell them where to go. Some people send them all to themselves so they can have them all. Some people just send 1 or 2. It's totally up to you, but I definitely recommend that you send at least 1 skinny tea pack and at least 1 skinny brew pack to yourself so that you can try it. And then I would probably just build in some excitement and tell them what I think about those, and let them know that those are, especially the coffee, is a big seller. Step 4. And then I'm kind of like, tell me when you're ready. Okay. And then they tell me they're done with that. And then I say, okay, I see no reason for us to wait on making you some extra money. I've got your first post ready. Are you ready for it? So in the beginning, I would have said, let me know when you feel comfortable making your first post. That's what I said. And nobody feels comfortable and nobody makes their dang first post. And then everybody's frustrated. So it's a delicate balance of being kind and letting them be an individual and not stretching them too far past their comfort zone, but also letting them know this is what you need to do. This is the next step. You came onto this business for me to teach you how to make money. This is how I can teach you to make money. So I don't know. Are you guys more of a like a slave driver type where you're like, this is what you need to do? Or are you more on the side of, let me know when you feel comfortable? Because I've been both. Neither of them work. Neither of them work. You have to have a balance. Oh, somebody said they had to jump off. So then in step 4, you just go through these. So it says, send me your favorite selfie and tell me what you want out of this business. We call this your why. Why are you doing this? What do you want out of it? And it can be as big or small as you want. So this is where I feel like you can really work on that connection, because whatever they tell you they want out of it, like, you get excited with them over it. And it's so important for you to know what it is. And it's so important to kind of make them think about what it is, because a lot of times all they've thought is they need money. But when they can put a why to that, what are you going to do with that extra money? You know, and they may not be in a place where they can dream about vacations or dream about even just saving for their kids' college. They may be just struggling paying bills. But whatever that why is, you get excited with them, send them voice messages about, I am so glad you are here. We're going to make that happen for you. Giving them confidence that you believe they can do it. So they've sent you the selfie. Now it's time to get your first post. Yay, I have it ready for you. Post it with the selfie you sent me. And here's the post. We were just jumping straight into the cleanse post, but I feel like this has gone really, really well. And a couple of people have signed their first couple of distributors with just this. So then after that, we have them jump to the cleanse post. Oh, hold on. Okay, so then while you're on that subject, you send them a few tips about posting. And then if you want to throw a voice message in there too, you can. And this has, check out this post for tons of posting options. It sends them to that 90 days of post. So let's go back to this. So that was step 4. So post 1 is that one I just showed you. Post 2 is going to be the cleanse post. Post 3 is going to be the gummies post. Isn't that what we decided, Danny? Okay, so then that helps you check off when they're ready. So after they've done post 3, they're ready to go start relying on that 30 days of post.
Okay. Are we still doing the gummies post, or because I know I've had trouble with it and people getting mad that I didn't know that we wanted to.
Yeah, we talked about that too. And I feel like it is such an attention getter that it is still a great post to go with. But just being upfront and before they order, be like, this is such a hot product. It is taking us longer to ship out. Is 3 weeks going to be okay with you? And usually they'll say yes. But I have personally shied away from posting as much about it on my personal page, but I do still feel like it's a great one of those first posts for new distributors to get attention. And if anything, they have a list of potentials that when they're not on back order anymore, they can go back to. So then the rest of the sheet is just step 5 through 9. And let's go back there. Oh, that's not. Well, actually, let me go. Okay. This Band-Aid. There's a really slow tractor driving down my road, so this may take a minute. I may have to hop up and let her out. Let me go let her out real quick. I'm here. All right. So what is host to post? We all know what the value of host to post has done for our businesses. So we want them tapping into that ASAP. I have another video of me explaining host to post that I use instead of Amy's, just because it's me and I like me better not like Amy. No, I'm just kidding. But if your people are having trouble understanding it from that video, there are more videos. So I want you to learn about a technique called host to post. Watch this video and let me know when you are done. And then this step walks them through changing that setting on their timeline so that all their host to posts don't show up right there. Step 6 is post giveaway. Oh, so they're posting about, you're actually getting them rolling with host to post. So, and how Danny's got those numbers, you're just going to send them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're not going to just like flood them all at one time. Like as you're doing it, you'll know like where to stop and kind of like let them breathe. So then step 7, I thought I heard somebody unmute. So then you are going to teach them how to message people. So I am always upfront and honest with the people when I send them this step. I tell them, I send them a voice message. I'll say, I'm going to give you another technique that you can use to get some customers quickly, but I will tell you, I did not do this step. I said, it scared the crap out of me to message my friends and family. I would have much rather worked off of people that I didn't know. I said, but this is an effective way to do it. How do you feel about sending a message to your friends and family that love you just because you're you? That's what I tell them, because I don't want them going and messaging just random Facebook people, because that's not what this is about. So it gives them the message, and then it tells them, okay, so if they say yes, here's what you send them. If they say no, here's what you send them. So you're actually sending these step by step to your new distributor. Step 8, after, oh yeah, so this is just what we do with host to post. This is teaching them to offer the opportunity. I don't normally have them do that until they've gotten their first 6 customers, because I want them focused on those first 6 customers. Oh, that one says coming soon. What is that, Danny? Oh, that's my video. I gotta do. That's my video. Okay. So step 9 is going to be a video of, okay, I'm going to make it, and it's going to be like, okay, you've made it through all of your steps. Congratulations. You are awesome. Here's your, and it's just going to kind of like be a recap. Me and Danny felt like, by the time they're at this point of their training, their head's kind of spinning a little bit, because you've talked about so many different things with them. So I'm just going to bring them back to the fact of, here's the 4 main things that you need to be focused on every day. Messaging, posting, following up, and expanding your friends list. And here's some, just recapping everything to give them like, okay, you've got all this information. Now here's kind of how you can kind of streamline it and make sure you're doing the things daily. So that's what coming soon is. And I have makeup on today, so maybe I'll do it today. And we got crowdy, but I'm not gonna do it after that. So how do you guys feel about that? Does that help you? I know before we had this training and boards, and people were trying to train distributors, and then those same people who've now used this have said it is such a breath of fresh air, and not like they almost have more confidence to enroll distributors now because they're not scared of doing it wrong. So it's been super helpful for the people who've like used it without and used it with. So questions, comments, rude remarks, whatever.
I'm trying to watch this. Thank you.
She's trying to watch this. That's all I got. Do you have anybody have any questions? I know Danny wanted to go over restarting someone who had never really started, but not necessarily a brand new distributor. But before we go to that, tell me any questions. Oh, and let me unshare so I can see all you guys.
I think I'm good, and I'm really excited to hear what Miss Danny has to say because from what we've talked about, that's my biggest problem right now
What's your biggest problem?
with I had two really good, like, seemed like good starters, and then they just
Yes. So tell
How to
me,
get the fire back under them.
so they were excited, they did the things, and then you never really even got them through the full training, or did they just get discouraged when it wouldn't happen fast enough?
So one was I didn't get through the first train, I think I got to maybe step 2 or 3 with them. So I got them in the Facebook groups, and then after that it just went boop. And then, but now she's been messaging me, and she's like, "All right, I really need money." So so she's ready to start, but then started ghosting me again. So yeah.
So you are still in that second dating period with her. She's on the team, but now we've got to get her to love the products, to love the idea of the business and the money, or to feel connected to the community, or all three. So for, I guess for me, I just always try to be as honest as possible and also as loving as possible. And sometimes you can't be fully honest and be as loving as you want to be. Sometimes they need that tough love, but it doesn't sound like you're quite to that tough love phase yet, because you're still kind of in that dating phase of just kind of getting her excited and seeing the potential in herself and the business and everything. So if there's several different ways that this can go down, but if I have somebody who's like, yeah, I want to do it. No, I don't. Yeah, I want to do it. No, I don't. Yeah. And not even saying no, I don't, but showing you that no, they don't. And so I know everybody's personality is so different. Like for me, my sponsor would message me every single day with one simple message and say, do you have any new potentials? That's what she asked me. I didn't want to say no. So I worked extra hard to make sure I had at least one new potential. So I always remember that. And I cannot say that I message all my distributors every single day. I do not, and I never have, because I don't want them to expect that from me, and it'll be all given and no, you know what I mean. I want them to be messaging me. So that was helpful for me, though. That was motivating for me. So depending on where they are, doesn't sound like your girl's there yet. She hadn't even really started trying to get potentials. So I've had this one girl join my team twice, and both times that she joins, she gives me the same excuses. And she's like, I'm just so busy. I just don't know where to start, blah, 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 blah. But I really, really, really need the money. So we talked a lot about her why, and she really, really needs the money. She has the time to work the business. I don't know why she doesn't. She tells me she doesn't know where to start. I send her to the units, and I've walked her through all these steps, and she doesn't do anything. So I just had to get real honest with her. I couldn't be as loving as I wanted to be. And I just said, I cannot make you work your business. I said, this is something that you are going to have to just commit to doing and showing up and getting in the habit of giving your business at least 30 minutes a day. So if you can do that, then you can up it to an hour. And here's what I need for you to do. Here is the 90 days of post. Go to this, open up the comments, choose a post, and go step by step through there. I am not ever, I'll give them those first 3 posts, and that's all that I give them. There is no need for us to spend time figuring out what we need to post and what all of our team needs to post. If they can't go to that 90 days of post and pick a post, they can't do anything else in this business. That is so simple. So if she's just like, I want to do it, I don't, I want to do it, I don't, then I just think staying connected with her, maybe sending her just a real basic training video and say, hey, I loved this and I thought of you. Tell me what you think of this. I always like to give them homework, so that they know that I'm expecting a response back from them. I have a distributor who has asked me 17 times, how does she get to executive? And there's no reason for me to spend 20 minutes explaining charting when there's a bajillion videos on that. So every time I send her the same video, and every time she doesn't watch it. And so the last time she asked me, I sent it to her again. I said, did you get a chance to watch this video? No, I hadn't had a chance to watch it. Well, this will explain every bit of it for you. Because if they're not willing to watch a video, they're not willing to do anything else. So sometimes it's just that they're not willing. Sometimes it's just that they're not connected yet. So you kind of got to gauge that. But like, when was the last time you talked to this girl, Miranda? Has it been a little bit?
She actually, so her card went out or whatever. So she actually sent me her new card today for her website.
Perfect. So,
and I tagged her in a video today.
Perfect.
Tagged her in a video.
So
all 3 of my distributors.
So are you kind of having to start back at like step 1 in the boards with her?
With her, yes. With the other distributor, it's more of like a fine tune. The one that we've talked about is more of like a fine tuning. Like she's got it, and she just doesn't understand. She's like that live wire, like you said.
And I know who you're talking about. And I think with her, it's going to be a lot of tough love. Like, why do you keep doing this? I've told you to stop doing this. Like, it is hurting your business when you do this. Like that kind of thing.
She won't talk to me now. She's ignoring me.
Okay, I'll have to talk to her. But I think it sounds like for your other one though, it's just a matter of building her confidence. Maybe it's in herself, maybe it's in the business, maybe it's both. But just staying connected with her and helping her feel included, helping her feel like a valuable part of the team, helping her know that you believe she can do it. Because sometimes it's not whether they believe it's the company or not. Sometimes it's they don't believe in themselves. And so helping them get that first win where you do give them that cleanse post, you do give them the gummies post, you do give them that first post, helping them through that and showing them how truly simple that it is. But like in Danny's case, where she was talking about people who they started like a couple months ago, but then never really did anything, right? Never really did anything, Danny? Okay, so how to get them excited to get started back again? Like you haven't initiated a conversation with them recently, right? You have?
The last was on April 1st, and they finally got the post up, and then I was giving them how to respond. They haven't responded. I reminded that's how you get customers. You have to respond to their comments. And then I keep sending messages, and I looked and you still haven't responded yet. And I commented, so I'll know if you respond.
In that case, you have to so you get notifications when people commented on there. That's smart. I think in that case, it sounds like you're just going to have to get real with her and give her the opportunity to feel safe being real with you. Like, what is stopping you from just simply sending these dang messages? Like, how could we say that? You're not going to say that. So I'm so excited to turn these people into customers with you. What is stopping you from messaging them? I want to help you get around that. Rael's got something valuable to add.
Okay, so I was just gonna say, how when we're following up with potential distributors that have not joined us, right? And it's like, I know when we talked about it before, you were really excited to do this. What has changed your mind since then? It's kind of just like giving them that open door to just, hey man, be real with me and be honest. I've had that kind of used that as like my template and just been like, hey, when you first joined us, you were really excited to do this. I'm still super excited, and I just want to make sure that I'm not dropping the ball on my end and falling short in regards to the help I'm giving you. And sometimes it's just easier if you tell me how I can help you, and I don't want the excitement to die, basically. And then give them a chance to respond with that, because that's like, hey, maybe I'm not doing something and I don't even know, and I'm just kind of putting that ownership on me and giving. Even if they were to come back, I haven't had somebody come back and be like, yeah, you suck. You're not telling me what I need to do. But it gives them that chance to be like, no, sorry, this is happening. Or maybe doubt is kind of getting to them, or they don't feel comfortable in something. And we can then encourage them and cheer them on a little bit more and relate to them on that.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. That's perfect. And one of the things I love so much about Rael is she knows every detail of every distributor's story and life that she is welcomed into this business, whether she knows them or not. And she really gets to know what their why is and what their challenges are in working this business and all of that, where you know exactly what to say. But I think sometimes you have to say the hard things as a leader. You have to not just rely on these scripts, because it's easy to be that distributor that enrolls people and helps the people who want your help. And we think that's going to be everybody, but it's not. Once they get in here, not everybody wants the help that we're trying to give them, but they needed the money. They needed this opportunity. So a super loving enroller is going to help them get through, to remember that they did want your help in the first place, that it's just their comfort bubble that is trying to keep them in the place that they're in. So everybody started because they wanted this, but then they start stretching, they start growing, and that comfort bubble starts pressing in on them, and they have to decide whether they're going to break through it or gently stretch it or smash it to pieces or stay there. But if we are that super loving distributor, that super loving enroller that wants the best for them, that wants what they said they wanted when they started, that wants to help them to grow, then we will have those hard conversations. And they won't all go the way you want them to go. There's going to be so many people who stay in that comfort bubble because it's comfortable. It's comfortable for them to be broke because they know how to be broke. They don't know how to, they haven't yet learned how to step outside that comfort zone to get what it is that they wanted to achieve, or they would have achieved it already. So it's our job to figure out who's going to let us help them stretch that and who's not. What you got?
So the one thing that Danny said about she comments when they make that post, so that way she gets the notifications too. I just like we do host post, created a folder that says new distributor post, and you can label it whatever you want, but then I'll get notifications anytime. And since I also have a smaller group for all of my newer distributors, I in a way call them out by giving kudos to other people. So I'll be like, oh, so and so made their first post, I got that saved to the folder, let's see what comes of it or whatever. And then other people, or I'll create the polls too to say vote if they've done these things. And so then everybody else that started around the same time as them is also seeing that. And then sometimes it encourages them to piggyback. But creating that little folder seemed like it was easier for me to, then I can also just go back if Facebook's, being rude and not giving me notifications. I'm like, it's right there.
I love that. What do you got, Danny?
I was just going to say, I commented on it just more to boost it, because it was their very first post they've ever put up. So that's why I had done that, which will automatically, of course, get me notification. But even if you don't want to comment on it, you just click on the 3 dots. You can turn on notification as well. And I also do have the folders too, which is awesome. It was just so that if someone does, I have a quicker response because they're brand new and don't know what they're doing. I wanted to just be on top of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And let me touch on what Rael said about shouting them out. Like, people love recognition, whether they think they do or not. People love recognition. So when they make their first post, do not be hesitant at all to, if they're in the tribe chat, like send a link to that post to the tribe chat and say, I'm so proud of so-and-so for making her first post. If you have time, can you please go love on it? Like, that is totally fine. And like, how welcome will they feel when we're not just saying welcome to the team, welcome to the team, welcome to the team, but instead we're all going and commenting on their post, or if they're not in the chat yet, shout them out in the best team ever page. Put a link in there and we can all go love on it from there. So shouting out those small successes, I think, is going to, number one, make them want to reach for the next step and the next step and the next step, but it's also inspiring the other new distributors to do the same thing. This was good, you guys. I love listening to y'all's ideas too. So I'm adding the statistic to my second favorite statistic in the business. 80% of your team growth comes from 20% of your team. So true. So true. 20% of your team growth comes from the other 80%. So love on the people you can love on, make a difference where you can make a difference, but know that some people are, I always will believe that anybody can do this business, but not everybody comes into this business with the willingness to stretch that comfort bubble. Not everybody comes into this business with a positive mindset. Not everybody comes into this business knowing how to overcome that first dip in enrollments, because your enrollments are not always going to go higher and higher and higher and higher, or stay the same. Rael and I were just talking, like, I enrolled my first customer of the month yesterday, and usually I've had several by then, but I gave myself March. I gave myself time to spend time with family. We went on vacation. We had Easter. I had a day where I did my taxes, and that's okay, because it's going to go and come. And I know when I don't put the work in, my enrollments are going to go down. But sometimes it's so common for people to not put the work in, their enrollments go down and they quit. And that's all a mindset thing. And yeah, we can help with that. We can encourage that along the way. But there's just, at some point, they've just got to do the mindset work and be willing to do it themselves. But we can make a difference for some. We can, for sure. And you'll find that 20% that will cause 80% of the growth in your business. Mike Patillo last night had said it took him a year to find anybody that would run with him. Like, he had, he went through that 80% that caused 20% growth for that whole first year. And then he said he got better at what he was doing and started recruiting better people. So it's all a learning process. And that's all I got for you guys today. Y'all have anything that's worked well for you guys that you want to share that we didn't go over, or questions or anything? Was this helpful? Okay, well, I'm going to end this. I did remember to record it in time to get most of it. So I know Diane said she wanted the recording. If y'all want it, let me know. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.